promise made in front of millions, a promise made to the families of our troops. Last Wednesday, Sean Hannity pledged to be waterboarded and offered to do so for military families. Remember one story, a former Army interrogator and Sears school instructor who's offered to waterboard Hannity will talk to us. But first, Hannity says nothing after turning Bush torture policies into a theatrical performance after using a prop football while taunting, "Imagine this as Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's head. Dunk it in water so we can save American lives." He outdid him even himself while talking with my former MSNBC colleague Charles Grodin.
So you're for torture, right?
I am for enhanced interrogations. I don't believe waterboarding is torture.
But you don't believe it's torture. Have you ever been waterboarded?
No, but Ollie North has, and I talked to him about it.
And would you consent to be waterboarded so we could get the truth out of you?
Yeah, sure.
We can waterboard you?
Sure.
Or are you busy on Sunday?
I'll do it for charity. I'll let you do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I'll do it for the troops' families.
I wouldn't do it. I'll hand you a towel when you come out of the shower.
Hannity is, of course, denying those military families untold thousands, yet to respond to my offer to donate $1,000 for every second he lasts, double that when he admits he feared for his life, when he admits that waterboarding is torture. Sean, my offer still stands, $1,000 a second. This is not a stunt nor a game. Prove to those families you are a man of your word. In fact, prove you're a man. Joining me now, former Army interrogator, former Sears school instructor, Mike Ritz. Mike, thanks for your time tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Keith.
You have performed waterboarding on several occasions. Let me skip the morals for a second. Let me talk about results. Let me read something off a right-wing site that I think comes to the core of this. The quote, "Yes, enhanced interrogation techniques work. If you don't think so, then come by my house, sign the release form, and I guarantee I will have your computer password, your ATM PIN, and your wife's safe word in the bedroom in an hour." The naivete in there, the danger in there, is the assumption that the password, the PIN, and the safe word will be accurate and not made up. Is that about the gist of it?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, just as easily as they could get the real information, they could get the false information, and we have no way to tell what the accuracy is of that.
And the other end of that is, if I waterboard you, I can get you to confess to blowing up the Hindenburg, or I can get you to tell me that the sun rises in the south, or I can get you to tell me that Iraq was linked to al-Qaeda, couldn't I?
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, if we put enough pressure on a person, and waterboarding being an excellent case and an excellent example, if we pressure someone with waterboarding, they will do anything, and I've had it done in many cases in training environments where we forced people to tell us information that was completely false, things that were incriminating. It's a coercive tactic. There's no question.
And this demonstration that you were involved in, and the other demonstrations we have seen, and people who have undergone this for news reports or whatever, the difference between what we saw in the demonstration video and the waterboarding that would be done on Hannity if he ever gets around to answering the calls about it, the key differences between that and the waterboarding of Abu Zubaydah or Khalid Sheikh Mohammed or anybody else who has actually done so in real interrogative circumstances, what are those principal differences?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make a joke of it by, saying we're going to waterboard Sean Hannity, but the reality is that a person that's undergoing waterboarding, that's volunteering, even in a SEER environment where it's incredibly intense, it's very stressful, that person knows that ultimately it's a safe environment, it's controlled, they know the duration that they're going to be in this captive situation. It's a completely different psychology than a person that's forced into this situation and has this sense of futility and this fear of the unknown. There's nothing we can do that will simulate that type of a situation.
Is there also something, I don't know if I've ever heard this addressed, is there something built into that where even if you think they're just trying to torture you and they're just trying to get information out of you, that there's a fear on the part of the victim here that he might be just the accidental victim of a drowning, that somebody might screw it up, or that there'd be nobody to double check in the event he was maliciously murdered under those circumstances? In other words, there's a certain safety net there that everybody else would have that the actual victim would not, just by dint of accident, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, SEER school is very intense, and people do tend to forget that it's training for certain instances, and there are moments when it's just so intense that one forgets that, that this is safe, this is controlled, maybe these people are going to go across the line. But in the back of everyone's mind, they know that this is safe, it's controlled, and let's face it, people that put themselves in this situation, people that go through my training, they know that they're volunteering for this, they're willing participants in this, and they know more or less the duration that this is going to be. A real detainee goes through this incredibly futile situation. They don't know how long they're going to have to put up with this. It's an entirely different psychology that's happening there, and as a result, it promotes, a coercive nature of the process.
Last point here, you mentioned you don't want to make a joke out of this about we're going to waterboard Sean Hannity, and yet you're willing to do that. To what end? What is your point of wanting to be involved in this?
Well, my point is quite simple. If Sean Hannity allows me to waterboard him based on the criteria and the guidelines that have come out in these memos, I'm willing to bet that I will be able to coerce Sean Hannity. In fact, I'm even willing to bet that I can get Sean Hannity to say that Countdown with Keith Olbermann is his favorite show.
As we said, we can get lies out of anybody, and perhaps that's the point of the thing. Mike Ritz, the former U.S. Army interrogator, former instructor at SEER. Great thanks for your time, your service to this country, and we'll get back to you if Sean gets back to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.